As our world changes, we'll keep you up to date with the latest information. News Talk KVNU 102 FM 610 AM.
KVNU News Time is 5:05. I'm Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by Mount Logan Laundry. Since Monday, the Utah Department of Health reported 38 more COVID-19 deaths. The deaths reported today represent deaths that were investigated by the Office of the Medical Examiner to determine if they were caused by COVID-19. Two of them are men from northern Utah, both between 65 and 84 years of age, one from Cache County, the other from Box Elder County. Also, epidemiologists at UDOH and local health departments have been reviewing past death certificate data to ensure all COVID-19 deaths have been reported. This review has potentially identified 90 additional deaths that will be reported by March 28th, many of which occurred more than a month ago. Utah's COVID death toll over 24 months of the pandemic is now 4,610, 238 of them from the Bear River Health District. Today, UDOH reported 109 new positive cases of coronavirus across Utah, the 11th straight day under 200 cases, which puts the state's overall total at 926,894 cases since the start of the pandemic. The report today also indicates 126 Utahns are hospitalized with coronavirus, which is 4 fewer than Monday's report. Also, 19 of those patients are in intensive care, 3 fewer than on Monday. Since the start of the pandemic, total COVID hospitalizations now number 33,872. The total northern Utah case count has reached more than 51,000. There have been more than 2,000 COVID hospitalizations in Cache, Box Elder, and Rich counties the past 24 months. Bear River Health District now reports on a weekly basis any new COVID-19 cases. UDOH reported that in the last 28 days, people who are unvaccinated are 3.5 times greater risk of dying from COVID-19, 2.2 times greater risk of being hospitalized, and 1.9 times greater risk of testing positive for COVID-19 than vaccinated people. KVNU News Time is 5:07. KVNU weather mostly clear tonight, low near 20, sunny mid-50s on Wednesday, partly cloudy Thursday morning, and then clearing, high temperature in the upper 50s, and then partly cloudy, becoming sunny, upper 60s on Friday. We've been into the low 50s this afternoon. 51 has been our high, and that's where we are right now at KVNU. KVNU weather brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. When you buy Napa Auto Parts, you're getting the best parts. If you need a new battery or wiper blades, pull into any of the 5 locally owned Napa stores. They will even help you install them. 5 locations from Preston to Providence.
Have you pulled your spring sheets out of storage, and do they smell stale and need freshening up? How about your blankets and your quilts? Are things dingy from winter use? Well, go to Mount Logan Laundry. It takes no time at all to freshen everything up with their 55 and 80-pound washers and dryers, and it costs a lot less than the dry cleaners, and free Wi-Fi and drop-off service, too. Mount Logan Laundry really is the cleanest spot in town. Find them at 5th East and 9th North in Logan, or in Brigham City on the corner of 1st East and 7th South.
KVNU News Time is 5:08, and another political coup for a freshman congressman. U.S. Representative Blake Moore has been appointed as a member of the GOP whip team in the House of Representatives. As an assistant whip, the first-term representative will now assist Representative Steve Scalise in rallying Republican votes on the House floor to advance what Moore describes as a more conservative and responsible political agenda. Moore explained that it is imperative that House Republicans are united in their efforts to push legislation that promotes fiscal responsibility, supports military and veterans, strengthens national security, and fights for energy independence and more. Moore will now join the ranks of minority GOP leaders in the U.S. House of Representatives. They are Minority Leader Representative Kevin McCarthy, Minority Whip Scalise, Republican Conference Chair Representative Elise Stefanik, and Republican Policy Committee Chair Representative Gary Palmer. The House's leadership includes the Speaker, Majority and Minority Leaders, Assistant Leaders, Whips, and Chairs of Party Caucuses or Conferences. And Utah's Republican governor vetoed a ban on transgender students playing girls' sports on Tuesday. The move was aimed at protecting vulnerable kids during a wave of similar legislation in nearly a dozen conservative-leaning states. The ban's supporters announced they plan to convene lawmakers to try and override the veto on Friday. They claim transgender girls could eventually dominate and change the nature of girls' sports. But advocates for transgender kids say banning the small group from competition would have little impact on sports while sending a wider, deeply painful message. Cox joins Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb, who vetoed a statewide ban on Monday. We'll hear more from Governor Cox next hour. Our bi-monthly direct link with Utah Governor Spencer Cox, which is heard courtesy of the Utah Broadcasters Association, and right here, live next hour on KVNU. News time is 5:11. For more details on these and other stories, visit CacheValleyDaily.com.
Keeping you informed 24/7. News Talk KVNU 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
This is Jay from Daryl's Appliance. Inflation is having an effect on all of us. Let us help you increase your purchasing power. We offer scratch and dent appliances, which saves you up to 40% on nearly perfect appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, GE, and more. You will rest easy when you buy a scratch and dent appliance from Daryl's with our exclusive full 2-year warranty. Easy financing available, and don't forget our service department backs every sale. Open until 6 p.m. on weekdays, 5 on Saturday.
Hi, this is Drew Allen with Allen Mortuaries. Over the years, thousands of families have planned ahead with Allen Mortuaries. Planning ahead helps you make informed and thoughtful decisions. It also spares your family the stress of making these decisions under the pressure of time and strong emotions. Allen Mortuaries' secure pre-need trust plan can save you nearly 40% versus other plans. Keep it simple, safe, and secure. Go with the proven choice, Allen Mortuaries. Voted best funeral home in Cache Valley in northern Utah. Allen Mortuaries. Then, now, always.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Feels like Tuesday. Tuesday has no feel.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Hour 2 of today's show, Tuesday, March 22nd. I'm Jason Williams, and kicking off Hour 2 here with a very special guest. I'm excited about this. It's an event. I've talked about it a few times here on the show because I think the work that they do is just so intriguing and unique and worthwhile, to say the least. But it's an honor to be able to actually talk about this, an upcoming award ceremony that will be happening in Brigham City on March 26th at 11:30 a.m., Saturday, March 26th, at the Fine Arts Center in Brigham City, which is 58 South, 100 West. There will be a big 2022 award ceremony for service dogs. I love this. It's being organized by an organization there in Brigham City called 4 Gold Service and Rescue. And as their name implies, this is what they specialize in. Joining us right now from 4 Gold Service and Rescue, Well, tell everyone who you are and also how you got involved in this.
Hi, this is Tamara Forsythe. I am the executive director for Four Gold Service and Rescue, and this is something I am one of the founding board members, and we just decided that this was a way that we wanted to serve the community. We opened our doors January 1st of 2020, and so we're just starting out, just trying to get our foot in the door on the nonprofit world and being able to serve an underserved population in our community by providing medical alert and task assistance dogs and to people who need them.
This is work that is, I think most of us take it for granted. We assume that there's someone out there doing this, but without organizations like Four Gold, this can be a challenge for people, right, to find the right service dog for them?
Right. It's very expensive. And to be honest, we do not provide fully trained service dogs. We haven't reached that capacity yet. So what our organization does is we take puppies that have been specially raised, bred for service, and started out on a path to learning. And our goal is to reduce the washout rate. And so when we get the puppies through their basic obedience training, they are raised with puppy raisers for about 6 to 8 months. And once they've passed their Canine Good Citizen certification, then we award them along with a $2,500 scholarship to start on their advanced service dog training. And so we're not providing fully trained service dogs, but we are trying to help get people started with a service dog training system to help out, just because it's so expensive to get these dogs trained.
Sure. This is a lengthy process too, right? It's not like you bring the dog in on Friday night and they're ready to go on Monday.
Right. It depending on the needs of the recipient, it can take years to really get a dog fine-tuned to what they need. One of the recipients that we are awarding a dog to this year, she is going to have her dog trained for diabetes detection. And from what I understand, that particular process doesn't quite take as long. There is a process of teaching the dog how to identify the smell and then the correct behaviors to alert the recipient. But some people who might have disabilities that are where they need more task assistance, like if they're wheelchair bound or if they have need cardiac alert, sometimes those train systems can take quite a bit longer to train in a dog. And so what we do with these scholarships is they can take the scholarship to any credentialed trainer of their choice and get the training that they need for their dog.
That is amazing. And this event, this coming up on Saturday, is just a chance to kind of have fun with all this and bring people together for some food. There will be a silent auction, and then, of course, a service dog award ceremony. But you're also hoping to sort of raise awareness about all of this and get people involved, right?
Right. That's been a big part of our agenda the past couple of years, is not only in awarding these puppies, but also in advocating and bringing awareness to the needs of this underserved population.
Sure. Four Gold can be found a couple of different ways. They're on Facebook. Their website is Fourgold, the number 4, fourgold.org. And all they're asking for this event on Saturday, again, a silent auction, service dog awards ceremony, light refreshments, and, of course, a good time, is that you RSVP ahead of Saturday morning. Again, this is 11:30 a.m. at the Fine Arts Center in Brigham City, which is 58 South, 100 West. RSVP at fourgold.org. And, again, that's the number 4, gold.org. And if you can, tell us a little bit about that name. Where does the name Four Gold come from?
It originated from just 4 paws. we were just trying to be creative in what we could do, and also the fact that most of the dogs that are awarded are golden retrievers. So 4 paws of golden retrievers, and it just came out to 4 gold.
I love that. That's perfect. If someone out there maybe can't make it Saturday, there are other ways for them to get involved and support the work of 4 Gold, right?
Oh, yes. We have on our website, there is a page called Get Involved, and it tells all of the ways that a person can get involved and help our organization. And there is a link for a volunteer application where they can indicate on that application what ways they would be able to help us.
Perfect.
And, of course, we also always take donations.
That's right. Donors and partners. You have some pretty big partners as well. The United Way of Northern Utah, Walmart. But this is a community-driven effort overall, right?
Correct. Yes. We've really appreciated the help from some of our community members.
It's amazing. I love this. Also, at the website, you actually, as someone goes in to donate there at 4gold.org, they can see exactly where the money goes, from the funding for training to some really touching and inspiring stories about rescues that are available there at the website. This is very unique work that you're in, and I'm sure you have some stories to tell from your experience, right?
Oh, yes. Our very first awards recipient, she has just blossomed. She's been able to get back into college. She just announced, she just recently, 2 weeks ago, came back from a cruise where she was able to take her service dog with her, and it's just opened a whole new world for her to be able to feel like she can go places and safely be able to get around and know that her dog is there to help her if she were to pass out or have a medical alert or something like that.
This is we should mention this as well. If someone out there is in need, there's an application process that they can begin at the website, right?
Correct. There is an application there. We have a committee that meets once a year, and we'll go through and meet regarding just kind of rank the applications according to what we have budget to provide, and just whittle it down and interview prospective applicants until we get it whittled down to how many we can afford to provide that year.
And, of course, the more support you get from the community, the more you can provide, right?
Yes, and that's what our goal is. We would love to grow the number of dogs that we are able to award each year.
That is, well, I can tell you one of the things that has me, as soon as my hands are free here opening my wallet, is your Instagram page. This is...
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate the time you've taken to let us talk with you about our organization.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be able to do so. And for listeners, if you need a little push yourself, check out their Instagram page. On Instagram, it's 4Gold. Again, that's the number 4 Gold _service on Instagram. And they've got some pictures there of puppies that if this doesn't make you want to make a donation, I don't know what would. This is you can find them on Facebook. They are on Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, the website where you can find information on everything we've just discussed, including the upcoming award ceremony this Saturday. That is 4gold.org. You can also search 4Gold Service and Rescue.org, or simply search on Facebook for 4Gold Service and Rescue. Easy to find. I've linked to all of this on our own Facebook page, though, if you're driving now and want to find it there later. The ceremony, again, the 2022 award ceremony coming up this Saturday, 11:30 a.m. at the Fine Arts Center in Brigham City, 58 South, 100 West. All they ask is that you RSVP so they have an idea of how many will be there at 4gold.org, the website, and they'll have light refreshments, the Service Dog Awards ceremony, a silent auction, and, of course, if you can't make it to any of this, click the donate button right there on the website and help them do what they do at 4Gold Service and Rescue, 4gold.org. And again, thank you for taking some time to talk to us about this here at KVNU today. But most of all, thank you for being out there doing what all of you are doing there.
Thank you. We really enjoy it, and we're looking forward to doing more.
We look forward to speaking with you again, and honestly, if anyone out there is inclined, please support the work they do. 4Gold, the number 4, 4gold.org again for details on all of this, the award ceremony Saturday morning, how to donate, volunteer your time, even just read some of the stories of some of the work they've done so far here in Utah. Check it out, 4gold.org. I've linked to it on our Facebook page, and we'll be back with more of For the People right after this.
Elements has delicious lunch specials, 2 for $30, or the new soup, salad, and bread special for just $10. It's tasty and quick. Elements lunch menu is full of scrumptious items prepared with a personal touch. Wood-fired pizzas are an excellent choice that include barbecue chicken and the bee's knees. The fresh battered halibut fish and chips with seasoned fries is always a hit. And don't forget the fan favorite Munster burger, casual or professional. Open Monday through Thursday, 11:30 to 8 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11:30 to 9 p.m. Visit theelementsrestaurant.com for reservations today.
It's time to vote in Best of Northern Utah, and Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning would appreciate your vote again this year. They were named Gold Medal winner in 2021 because of their amazing service, and they look forward to another Gold Medal season. Go to Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning's website or Facebook page for a quick link to vote. Remember, you can vote once per day. Thank you for supporting Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning.
We're not comfortable until you are. Advanced Heating and Air.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Speaking of Bear Lake, which we've been doing here a bit on the show today, an upcoming public hearing, rather. The public is invited and encouraged to attend a discussion about the state of Bear Lake. In fact, that's the name of the public hearing. This is the State of the Lake event, March 31st in Garden City at the Garden City Convention Center there. The discussion will be about, well, as the name implies, the future of the lake, what people can expect as far as work plans going forward when it comes to fisheries, when it comes to the lake itself. There's a lot changing, and with a lot of us focused on the Great Salt Lake during the legislative session, it's easy to kind of forget there's this other issue that we have here that ties in with all of our talk of growth and water and what a big part of the Utah's economy tourism is. All of this is connected. So joining us right now, an expert on fisheries and the biology of lakes like Bear Lake, fisheries biologist at the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources, Scott Tolentino. And Scott, appreciate taking some time to join us here today. Most of the questions we've gotten about this upcoming public hearing is why now? What is there a specific reason that now is the time to bring everyone together from southeastern Idaho, northern Utah, and say, here's where we're at, here's where we're going?
I don't think there's anything with the timing of it. We just wanted to get it going before most of the people got into their busy summer season, including us when we're out sampling. And so we wanted to just bring the public in and present some information on the state of the fisheries on Bear Lake. We're going to cover everything from the endemic species to the non-game species to, of course, the cutthroat and the lake trout, which are the big ones out there that everybody likes to fish for.
Sure.
And we want to kind of give a background of how the lake is doing, and then we also want to talk to people about the future and the directions that both the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources and Idaho Department of Fish and Game are going to go on Bear Lake. And we're going to just kind of give a presentation for about 45 minutes, talk about how we work together on just about everything out there. We have a fisheries management plan in place on the lake, and we want to update that in the future. And we want the public to hear what's going on, and if they have any input, they're welcome to give it to us, and we'll go from there.
Sure. This is, it's just thinking about it. It's overwhelming for me, Scott, to think about trying to plan ahead when it comes to this type of thing. Bear Lake itself has a complex ecology. Fisheries, of course, have complex ecologies. I'm sure you know in your line of work and education there. But you also have this changing landscape all around of, tourism. You have, the loss of agricultural land to developments and subdivisions, and that affects lifestyles, which can then change how lakes are used. How do you factor all of this in?
Oh, that's a good question. We try our best. And so, but you are absolutely right. There are so many different things that have changed, and COVID was one of them. I almost feel like COVID is you're kicking a dead horse there, but literally it has changed it. And the recreation opportunities in Utah, it's allowed people to expand their use of the resources out there, whether it's non-consumptive or consumptive uses, and that includes Bear Lake. And we feel it's very important to, manage the lake wisely. We have a very unique system up there with 4 endemic fish that are found nowhere else in the world. So, my job is to try to balance the conservation of those native endemic fish and then provide a sport fishery for the anglers that they're happy with. And, not everybody's happy sometimes with some of the decisions that are made, but this is an opportunity to hear, what we've done and how we've come along. We're pretty proud of the state of Bear Lake right now, and we want to share that with the public and show some of the success stories and how some of the money from fishing and hunting licenses have been spent to improve the resource up there. And then we want to continue on and look into the future and see where we want to go and what the public is interested in.
Sure. And this, speaking of success stories, I'm hesitant to spoil anything because, of course, you want people to come there to the public meeting, which again is March 31st at 6 p.m. at the Garden City Convention Center. This is open to everyone, but this is going to be most interesting, I think, to community members attached to the lake, anglers. And one of the success stories that I know you have that you're going to be sharing and talking about that night, some pretty positive population trends when it comes to the fisheries, right?
Absolutely, yeah. People have been doing really well on Bear Lake, and this winter it finally froze over after 5 years of being open, and it allowed the ice fishermen to get out there and really enjoy some of the ice fishing that we have up there, and they're still doing it, and it's going to be going on for several more weeks. Most of the lower elevation reservoirs are melting, and we still have ice up there. But, it's really important for the anglers to understand that, there's a lot more to it than just stocking fish and people catching fish. We have to look at these native fish up there and make sure that, we are doing our best to ensure that the populations are strong and viable and yet, provide this opportunity for anglers to catch lake trout and cutthroat that they really enjoy.
Sure.
So it's a really it's a challenge, but it's a great challenge, and right now the fishery is doing quite well.
Does it present a challenge that the lake is kind of co-managed, 2 different states?
In some areas in the state where reservoirs or bodies of water cross state lines, sometimes both agencies aren't on the same page on some of their management or interpretation of even the data. However, with the Idaho Department of Fish and Game and Utah Division of Wildlife Resources, we look at things almost exactly the same way. We are very happy with our participation with the other agencies, and they're happy with us. And so everybody is getting along, and our like I said, our management plan has to be approved in 2 different states. So our Utah Wildlife Board approves that, and then the Idaho Fish and Game Commission approves that. And so we write those plans, and we go to those boards, and they get a lot of public feedback. And this is just part of the process where we want public to come in and understand what's going on and what we face, and some of the challenges we need to look at before we make a decision on which way to go with certain things.
Just great to highlight how complex all of this is, and honestly, it's an important one to attend for the public, for anyone who enjoys Bear Lake. Even if you've never fished in your life, the public meeting is one of interest. Put it on your calendar. It's scheduled for next Thursday, March 31st at the Garden City Convention Center, in the Lakeside Room there at the Garden City Convention Center. It's open to the public, starts at 6 p.m., that complex, by the way, is located at 69 North Parkway there in Garden City, so just off the main road there. And again, the public meeting starts at 6 p.m., a chance to talk about where Bear Lake's at, where things are going, talk about work plans for 2022, the fisheries, the population trends, and more. All of that will be presented by Scott and others. And our guest, again, has been Scott Tolentino, a fisheries biologist stationed at Bear Lake. And Scott, you've been doing this for a while. I appreciate that you guys are doing this to involve the public and get people interested, involved, and we'll see you over there.
That sounds great. We really appreciate you having us on the show, and we'll look forward to talking with the public next week, Thursday.
Absolutely. Again, next Thursday, March 31st, 6 p.m. at the Garden City Convention Center, the State of the Lake public meeting. Thanks again to Scott Tolentino, fisheries biologist with the Department of Wildlife Resources here in Utah, for joining us. Thanks to our listeners for tuning in as well. Hope you'll stay tuned. We'll be back right after this look at the news with KVNU's Bill Walter.
Thank you, Jason. KVNU News brought to you by the Duck Hunter. The south end of Cache County is in Senate District 17, which with redistricting becomes District 1 in 2023. And there will be a primary for the Republican nomination. One of the candidates in that race is Camille Knudsen, who was a guest on KVNU's For the People program on Monday. The district takes in South Cache and all of Box Elder and Tooele counties.
Even with the uniqueness of Cache Valley, Box Elder, and Tooele County, there are some very similar issues across all 3 areas, and I think it's important that we identify those and, be able to look forward and find solutions that not necessarily is a one-size-fits-all, because I don't think that's the best way to go, but definitely find solutions that are unique for each of the areas.
Knudsen has been active on the Tooele County School Board for the last 4 years and also has served as a board member for the Utah School Boards Association. She said this next step was not an easy decision.
I went back and forth in deciding, do I run again for school board and continue what I've been doing, or, there's some other bigger picture possibilities. And I kept coming back to the Senate seat, and I kept thinking, I want to help as many people as I can, and I want to make an impact. And I look at my children, and I want them to know that their voice matters and that they can make an impact wherever they're at, regardless of where they live.
Her website is knudsenforutah.com. KVNU and CacheValleyDaily.com will continue to highlight state candidates ahead of the primary. A Centerville police officer is being credited with stopping a wrong-way driver on I-15 Monday afternoon. Dispatchers first started receiving calls of a driver going southbound in the northbound lanes of I-15 in Farmington at around 3:10 p.m., according to the Utah Highway Patrol. Centerville police officer Alex Farnes heard the radio calls of the wrong-way driver and responded to I-15 to close down the on-ramp at Parish Lane. Farnes told KUTV that traffic was backed up, intersections were blocked, and there was tons of traffic trying to get to Legacy Parkway and I-15 at that time, and hundreds of cars that she did not want to go through Parish Lane. Within seconds of shutting down the on-ramp, Farnes says that she saw the wrong-way driver coming southbound up the on-ramp. Farnes hit the wrong-way driver with her police cruiser, stopping him on the on-ramp. The male driver was taken to the hospital for evaluation. According to the Utah Highway Patrol, the man was impaired at the time he drove the wrong way down I-15. The identity of the driver who was arrested has not been released. 4 people have been killed in wrong-way crashes in recent weeks. And river levels across the state are well below normal for this time of year, with some setting record minimums on Monday. As we head into runoff season, experts say the outlook is a bit better than last year, but still worrisome. Jordan Clayton, a specialist with the USDA Snow Survey, told Fox 13 that 95% of the water in Utah comes from snow. A lot of that is stored in our reservoir system year after year, and we're currently at about half full. Everyone should be concerned about those low levels. On Monday, a real-time map showed that river levels in many areas across the state hit a record low for the date of March 21st. But those levels should change soon as the seasons change and the snow starts to melt. KBNU weather mostly clear tonight, low near 20, sunny mid-50s. Tomorrow, upper 50s on Thursday. Weather brought to you by Mount Logan Laundry. Don't pay for the expensive dry cleaning when you can clean your items at Mount Logan Laundry for much less. 2 locations in Logan at 500 East, 900 North, and in Brigham City, 1st East and 7th South, Mount Logan Laundry. You can always get more news at CashValleyDaily.com.
John at the Duck Hunter asks, have you ever checked the dryer vent cover on the outside of your home? It could be broken, full of lint, or worse yet, you could have an unwanted guest living in it. John suggests you check your dryer vent today. And if you can't, call John at the Duck Hunter. He'll do a visual inspection, and if needed, run a camera through the dryer vent line to see what's going on in there. For a free consultation, call the Duck Hunter, 770-4813.
We are the Duck Hunter. Breathe better, save money, protect your home. We are the Duck Hunter.
Draper Philharmonic and Choral Society and Cache Valley Arts bring you an Easter event unlike anything that's graced the stage in Logan ever before. March 25th and 26th at the Ellen Eccles Theater with cinematic music, Broadway-level talent, and a cast of over 100 exceptional musicians. King of Kings along with Lamb of God combine to give you an epic musical experience. This concert is a musical panorama of the life and mission of Jesus Christ, told by those who were there. Tickets are available at draperphilharmonic.org or casharts.org.
UNI Furniture stocked up with a wide variety of home furnishings. You've heard us talk about their chair department before. It's chair heaven. A big variety means a good chance UNI will have what you're looking for. Also, UNI, your mattress headquarters, including Therapeutic and Maloof. See the new Therapeutic Synthesis. It's a hybrid mattress with inner springs and copper-infused memory foam that helps keep you sleeping cooler and more comfortable. Also, check out the Therapeutic HD mattress line built for support for all those with weight concerns. UNI Furniture, downtown Logan for over 90 years. Always a better buy at UNI.
These are the sounds of a dinner. But not just any dinner. A dinner that almost didn't happen. Because without food, it can't. A dinner now served, thanks to people like you. Due to COVID-19, 17 million more Americans may face hunger. Feeding America is helping our neighbors in need. And if you're able, you can too. Donations to the COVID-19 Relief Fund are being accepted at feedingamerica.org/coronavirus. Your help is needed now more than ever, and every dollar makes a difference. That's feedingamerica.org/coronavirus. On behalf of Feeding America and families nationwide, thank you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Feeding America, 200 Food Bank strong.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Governor Cox hosted his monthly news conference today. Addressed a lot of different issues. The future of the state's pandemic response, with some news at the federal level that Congress had decided not to fund ongoing pandemic response at the federal level for the time being. They'll probably get back to it, but for now, it leaves states hanging. And if we do see another wave, which is expected, that we'll see them here and there for the next several years, maybe off and on, it leaves certain states like Utah without a lot of extra money sitting around in trouble. And that means that Congress is under pressure to act. But the governor addressed that today, said in the press conference that he's confident Utah's positioned well. They have the public health infrastructure in place. They've learned a lot of lessons over the last few years. And the legislature has put some money aside for potential outbreaks and things like that when it comes to budgets at the county health department level, which is where any outbreaks that do happen will probably be handled. It's unlikely, the governor said, we'll see a massive statewide outbreak, though it could happen. China right now is dealing with, now they approach it very differently. China, unlike us, considers a few thousand cases a huge outbreak, and they lock everything down to keep it contained immediately. It's unlikely, the governor said, they think at least, that we'll see a massive statewide outbreak like we have over the last several years. And that with that being the case, it could be handled at the county level. So that's where things stand on the pandemic front. The governor talked a lot about the legislative session and bills he will or won't be signing. But he did start today's press conference with a response to, he couldn't really say a lot other than we cannot comment on ongoing litigation. But there was news today, just before the press conference started, actually, there was news that the Utah League of Women Voters and several other organizations are suing the state of Utah. Specifically, they're suing the Senate President, the House Speaker, and the Lieutenant Governor. And the reason they're suing those three is they're suing over the congressional maps that were drawn during the redistricting process last year. Those maps are set to kick in January 1st of 2023. And some boundaries obviously moved. The biggest move, though, was the legislature further divided, or they took the division they'd already put in place 10 years ago and kind of put it on crack. They hyped this thing up to the point where you literally have some communities in some of the poorer areas of Salt Lake County in which you could have 4 people living on the same block that would be in 4 different congressional districts. And one of the goals of redistricting is to try to keep communities of interest and communities in general together where you can. The legislature, though, could not pass on the political opportunity to divide the bluest area of the state and water it down as far as political influence goes into the other reddest areas of the state. By putting that blue area in 4 different districts, you basically cancel it out and more. So it's not what redistricting is supposed to be about. But until gerrymandering is explicitly made illegal by Congress, you're going to see this happen in almost every state. Some states go a bit further, looking at Texas and North Carolina, who are still losing left and right in court, and never stopped losing 10 years ago when they tried to do the same thing that they did last year. Utah has never lost in court because of the way our Constitution is worded, the state Constitution, which is vague when it comes to redistricting, just says that lawmakers have to do it every 10 years. And so Utah's never lost in court, but Utah has in the past, by even the conservative Wall Street Journal opinion pages, been described as one of the most gerrymandered states in the country. And that was 2 cycles ago, 30 years ago. So lawmakers are sensitive to this, and they have defended their maps by saying, look, this community is now represented by 4 different congressional representatives. Look at how special they are. I mean, it's the silliest excuse that I've ever heard lawmakers make, but it's the one they've chosen. To which critics smartly have responded, let's see you go make that argument to your own constituents in your House district or state Senate district. As a state lawmaker, let's go see you tell your constituents, hey, I think you should be represented by all the 5 people around us, co-repped rather by me and the 5 lawmakers from other areas around you, and that way you'll have more people paying attention to your interests. So that's not going to go very well, and so it's a silly argument to make even at the congressional level. With that in mind, the lawsuit, I would say, is probably not going to go very far, but it is going to at least make it to the state Supreme Court, and we'll see what happens there. That announcement today came again just before the governor's press conference, and Governor Cox was asked to respond. He said basically, I can't comment on ongoing litigation, so I can't say a lot, but he said, I did sign those maps last year after the special session for redistricting, and he said I would not call them illegal. People jumped on this because it was the governor apparently saying, he's not going to say that the maps were good or that the maps were not gerrymandering at its peak. He just said, I would not call them illegal. So that was all the governor had to say about it. But again, he did defend the maps. He said the process he thought was a good process, and if he hadn't thought so, he wouldn't have signed the bill itself that redrew the boundaries here in Utah. Some have asked since, and this is a great question, some have asked why are they suing over the congressional districts and not any specific state House or Senate districts? Well, the first reason is, according to the lawsuit, the congressional districts are the most obvious gerrymandering, and they're right about that. I mean, there's not really another explanation that makes sense for why you have this Four Corners area basically now created in the western part of Salt Lake County. One of the poorest parts of Salt Lake County. I mean, it's pretty obvious that why it's there and why they did it, and why you have a sliver of that area now, jumbled in with us here in Cache Valley, which makes no sense. That's not a community of interest at all. But that's why they're suing over those congressional districts. When it comes to House and Senate, State House and Senate, there are some areas, there's one district in Weber County that is odd. It includes like downtown Ogden and parts of Morgan County. Kind of hard to make an argument that isn't a political boundary for some reason there. That doesn't make any sense as far as, considering communities of interest go. Otherwise, though, the state has few enough districts and few enough representatives that it's pretty easy for them to. I know here in Cache County, people aren't fans of a sliver of Cache County at the south from Nibley South being in basically the Box Elder Senate District. Senator Scott Sandel is from the Box Elder County area, and he does, make a point to have a presence at the south end of Cache Valley, but it would make more sense to have all of Cache Valley be one Senate district, along with Rich County, and if anything, take a part of Box Elder County and put it with Cache. That's the argument that many have made, and I don't know. Senator Hilliard, though, when that line was first drawn, Senator Hilliard was in that office and spoke to that several times here on the show and said, when it comes to that sliver of Cache Valley that ends up in Box Elder County, the thinking there is that the issues of northern Utah are the same enough that you still have a community of interest there, even though you have a dividing line in the middle of the valley. It doesn't leave anyone without representation that they're probably going to like. We'll see if that changes. As population changes here in Cache County, you're definitely going to see that boundary go away one day. But for now, I think those are the only two examples I can think of where a state house or state senate boundary could make more sense being moved here and there. But this lawsuit announced today that the governor was responding to at the press conference focuses entirely on those congressional districts. If you'd like to read the lawsuit, I've linked to it on our Facebook page. If there has been no response yet from the Lieutenant Governor's office, the Elections Office, or the House Speaker or Senate President, but I'm sure the state will go to bat for the maps, and this will play out in court. And if nothing else, we'll all get a chance to hear a pretty robust discussion about how the state is defining or not communities of interest. So, which I would guess is probably the purpose of the lawsuit more than anything else. Again, if you'd like to see it, it's linked on the Facebook page, and we'll be back with more highlights from Governor Cox's monthly news conference where he talked about the bills he plans to veto right after this.
Hi, Cache Valley. Mark Anderson with Anderson Seed and Garden. I enjoy giving advice about yard and garden care. In fact, some people even consider me their personal gardening Google. But now's the time for bare root plants. Great time for any kind of fruit tree like apples, pears, nectarines, or things like raspberry bushes, strawberries, grapes, onions, even blueberries. Anderson's is having their bare root sale right now. The bare root tree sale doesn't last long. Get the best selection before they're gone at Anderson Seed and Garden, 69 West Center in Logan.
Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology is Cache Valley's most trusted name in hearing aids. Once again, you'll be able to hear a loved one's laughter and understand conversations. Schedule a free hearing evaluation with Dr. Paul Daines at Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Call 753-4327. That's 753-HEAR. Or visit cachehearing.com.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Hey golfers, I invite you to come to Birch Creek on Wednesday, March 23rd from 5 to 7 and sign up for Birch Creek's Men's Association. Enjoy a free burger and Pepsi, compliments of Birch Creek. Our punch passes are on sale at the spring sale price. So if you love golf, I hope to see you at Birch Creek on Wednesday, March 23rd from 5 to 7 for a free burger and Pepsi and get your discount punch pass. That's Birch Creek Golf Course in Smithfield.
The Cache Valley Media Group Home and Garden Show presented by Anderson Seed and Garden is March 25th and 26th at the Eccles Ice Center in North Logan. Friday 10 to 7 and Saturday 9 to 6. Experience hundreds of home and gardening ideas. Welcome spring by supporting your local businesses. Over 100 of them are excited to help your home and yard look better than ever. The Cache Valley Home and Garden Show, March 25th and 26th at the Eccles Ice Center in North Logan. Don't miss this year's show.
Hi, it's Congressman Blake Moore here. As you know, the prices of gas, groceries, utilities, and housing are surging. Inflation has been increasing due to President Biden's policies, and it's a painful tax on all Utah families. I'm working hard to reverse these policies that are driving inflation and bring fiscal responsibility back to Washington. With inflation rising faster than paychecks, it's clear we need to balance our nation's checkbook. I've started a debt and deficit task force with stakeholders across Utah's 1st District to address America's most pressing financial problems. Please visit my website, www.blakemore.house.gov, to learn more about our productive solutions that will keep more money in your pockets. Paid for by official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
Vehicle accidents are stressful enough. You don't need someone showing up at the scene trying to pressure you into letting them tow away your vehicle. Call your roadside assistance provider or insurance company for towing company suggestions, or consult with police on the scene. And always have the price and terms in writing before you let them hook it up. If you suspect fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB or visit www.nicb.org. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Hi, we are the Girl Scouts of Troop 13, and it's time to get your box of Girl Scout cookies.
Look for our cookie booths at grocery stores this weekend, or check the cookie finder on girlscouts.org and enter your zip code.
Take your adventure to the next level. Try our new Girl Scout Adventurefuls.
Girl Scouts of Utah, building girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place.
Again, look for our cookie booths at grocery stores this weekend, or check the cookie finder on girlscouts.org and enter your zip code.
I was in the hospital with my son for 18 months.
When he got injured, I wasn't prepared, but I knew I had to be strong.
When I was told about John's injury, I was in complete shock. I just remember rushing into his room and giving him a big hug and letting him know I was there.
These veterans and families are just a few of the heroes we serve at Homes for Our Troops. For thousands of severely injured veterans, everyday life is filled with barriers.
It was really the little things throughout the house. Counters that you can't roll up to. I had to drag my wheelchair down steps.
I want to help, but he is so determined.
At Homes for Our Troops, we build specially adapted custom homes with features like wheelchair access, roll-in showers, and automatic door openers that allow them to function independently and focus on their recovery and family.
This house is freedom. It's hope. It's a new beginning.
This house has given me my family back.
To learn more, visit hfotusa.org.
almost said that is our time for today, the way I wrap up every show. But guess what? Bonus hour of me and the governor. Governor Cox's Direct Link event, this is a statewide event focusing on rural counties, is coming up next. Stay tuned, a full hour with questions from all around northern Utah, the Uinta Basin, and more. Direct Link with Governor Cox is next here on KVNU Logan.